That's a clap right there. It's a loud noise to get your attention. And when the teacher is talking, you guys listen, okay? The teacher is here, and I'm going to educate you on the market today. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to educate you on the market today. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bitcoin video. If you haven't seen my video yesterday, I discussed the threats to Bitcoin right now. I believe Bitcoin's in a very good position on a macro scale, but discussing threats is actually more useful than just sitting here and talking about how good everything is. It doesn't really help you, me doing that. It just gives you confirmation bias. But we discussed that yesterday. Today we will discuss the market from a more objective, kind of neutral point of view. I believe the market's in a great position on the macro scale. I believe we are in a bull market. In this video, I will discuss the possibility for a short-term correction. Ethereum and Bitcoin both look like they're seeing patterns of exhaustion in the short term. I'll discuss what will happen in the next couple of days. I will also discuss the altcoin market specifically, which is a really, really good thing right now. We're seeing, in my view, probably the start of an altcoin season, or at least, getting very close to the start of an altcoin season. I actually mentioned that in a video about 7 or 8 days ago. I titled that video, you can find on my YouTube channel, Altcoin Season Starts Now. When I said now, I meant that from a macro cyclical perspective. So I didn't actually mean right then in that moment. But I think now, actually, there's a pretty good chance it could be starting right now in this moment. We're seeing very good price action on the Bitcoin dominance chart. We're seeing Ethereum blasting to the upside. Lots of things going on. We'll discuss it all today. So overall, we're looking at long-term, short-term, and the altcoin market. Bit of a broad analysis here. I'll try and keep it quick. There's a few points I want to make, and I'll make them very, I guess, in a concise manner, just so I don't waste any of your time. What I will do, I'll ask you one thing. Just go down in the comment section, guys, and drop an emoji, drop a thank you, drop anything you want, just a one-word comment. Take 15 seconds out of your time. It really helps me out. I make these videos every day. I've been doing it for years now. Helps out the algorithm. Please do that. I appreciate it. We'll mention one more thing, then we'll get into it. That is the Bitcoin ETH and Blowfin exchanges. The two exchanges I advertise on this YouTube channel, they're both global non-KYC, so you can sign up from anywhere in the world without a VPN. Very useful stuff there, considering the regulation in crypto exchanges recently. They've both never been hacked before, and they've both got hundreds of trading pairs available. If you sign up with my referral link, you will get a 15% trading fee discount for life on Bitcoin ETH, and Blowfin is there as well as an alternative option. Check them out with my links down below, guys. Appreciate that. Let's get into the content. So we know for a fact that in order for Bitcoin to see full price chart confirmation of this macro breakout of the channel formation being confirmed, we need to be seeing the weekly candle close above 69,000. 69,000 is the 2021 all-time high level. It is a level that has acted as resistance on the weekly chart back here in March on our prior all-time high breakout, and back here for the last 2 weeks. Good news is it's very, very, very likely that we will see a weekly candle close above 69K. It would take a cataclysmic drop for Bitcoin to not succeed in that weekly candle close. So Bitcoin at this point has pretty much confirmed a macro breakout. We're pretty much in the clear from a macro perspective. The macro breakout of the largest ever macro channel formation has occurred. Now, the question is, where do we go next? Well, there's a couple of things. One of them I discussed yesterday was the 5.3 theory on Bitcoin. You can find my full analysis of that yesterday. It suggests that there's major resistance at 79,000. I'm not going to go over that now. It will just take too long, but there is major resistance at 79,000. And there also is major resistance at 84,000, which is identified by taking the lowest retest of the channel formation to the highest retest of the channel formation and applying that to the breakout point. We get a number around 84,000 if I did it correctly there. And that will be a target as well. So the two targets we have for Bitcoin right now, we are in price discovery, okay? So we've never been this high before, which means we cannot identify historical support resistance very easily, but we can take targets from macro trends like 5.3 and identify very clearly, which we'll do on the daily chart here in red, there is resistance at around 79,000 and there is resistance likely at around 84,000 as well. And any other resistance zones that develop between here and there with price action, we will identify when that occurs. So right now we're in a macro breakout. The macro looks great. The medium term looks great. I will say there is something a little bit concerning on the Bitcoin daily chart. That is an ascending channel formation. We discussed this yesterday as well. It is a little bit concerning. I won't lie to you. It is concerning. It's not the end of the world. I do believe the cyclical structures, the bullishness of the cyclical structures do outweigh it. I do believe this will be conquered, but it's something to look at, right? There is a channel formation on the last 3 major tops for Bitcoin. They have been marked by a retest of this channel formation. Okay, I'm circling them right now, the last 4 of them really. And on the last 3 major bottoms, they have been outlined by this channel formation as well in the RSI, circling them right now as well. Very, very major structure. We are approaching resistance right here, which means we are at resistance on that daily chart RSI structure, which goes into into what I was talking about on short term at the beginning of the video. I believe that a short-term pullback from this price region is actually quite likely for Bitcoin. So, if you're one of these people who have been sitting on the sidelines, who have not really looked into getting into the market yet, perhaps you might be served by waiting a little bit longer here. Yes, Bitcoin's in a macro breakout. We've established that. Okay, Ethereum's doing exactly the same. Massive breakout on Ethereum. We'll discuss this more when we get to the altcoin segment in just a couple of minutes here. But regardless of these medium-term and longer-term breakouts, the short-term does look a little bit rough. I won't lie to you, okay? We have a ascending wedge formation here on Bitcoin on the short-term, very, very clearly outlined. We have bearish divergence kind of everywhere here on the short-term charts. Doesn't matter if you look at 15-minute chart, doesn't matter if you look at the hourly chart or the 4-hourly chart. There's the hourly chart right there. Consecutive higher highs, consecutive lower lows in the RSI, lower highs in the RSI. That is a pattern of exhaustion. There is exhaustion here. I would probably expect Bitcoin to come downwards to at least something like 74,000. I would also expect Ethereum to come downwards and break below its ascending channel formation. You can see in yellow on the screen. To retest the major support block now, which is around the 2,800 to around the 2,700 region. That in my view, would be very, very logical. So, both of those support breakdowns on the short term, they would not mean any damage on the larger scale. It would just be an interweek price action kind of thing. Ethereum would come down and flip this major resistance as support, definitively, and Bitcoin would do the same thing with, forming a new higher low. That would be the ideal structure. I think that would be very healthy. So, look, short term's not looking too great right now, I can't lie. Various patterns of exhaustion there, but it shouldn't really mean anything on any medium term or longer term time frame. So there's that. There's a bit of reassurance there with the bad news. Obviously, I will be keeping an eye on this daily chart channel formation on the RSI. That, in my view, is probably one of the most concerning things right now, because if we do see a short-term rejection, there is a chance that we just go right down and break below the support and continue downwards and go down very, very low on the price chart. That is a threat. It's a threat that I'm not taking too seriously at the moment, but I will be watching closely. So I do remain, of course, longer-term bullish, of course, and medium-term bullish as well. It's just the short-term I'm a little bit concerned about and a threat that I'm watching. By the way, similar thing can be said about the S&P 500 at all-time highs. Great to see, but short-term resistance here in the form of what is potentially an ascending channel formation. So short-term's looking a bit rough across these markets at the moment. But we'll get into some more good news now. The altcoin market looks absolutely bloody exceptional. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Okay, we know for a fact what the Bitcoin dominance chart is. The Bitcoin dominance chart objectively is measuring the flow of money in cryptocurrency. Okay, so from Bitcoin into altcoins. If the chart is at 59%, which it's at right now, that is telling us that 59% of every single dollar in cryptocurrency is in Bitcoin, and the rest, the other 41%, is in altcoins. So when this chart goes up, Bitcoin dominance rises, which means Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins on a generalized scale. When it goes down, Bitcoin dominance goes down, which means that altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin on a generalized scale, and that is what an altcoin season is. Bitcoin dominance dropping is synonymous with an altcoin season. During bear markets, this chart rises. During bull markets, it goes down, because during bear markets, people flock to Bitcoin for safety, and during bull markets, they flock to altcoins because they're greedy, okay? They want maximum profits, right? And that's not a bad thing, actually. So right now, we have seen an aggressive upwards trend on Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin has been outperforming altcoins for years on end at this point, since the end of the 2021 bull market. But the good news is this, okay? If we overlay the Bitcoin dominance chart with the Bitcoin chart, which we've done here, the Bitcoin dominance chart is in red. What we notice, cyclically speaking, and Bitcoin is in the 4-year cycle, is that, historically speaking, when Bitcoin breaks its all-time high from the prior cycle, that is around when Bitcoin dominance starts to drop. So Bitcoin broke its all-time high in March 2017. Bitcoin dominance started to drop. Altcoin season began. Same thing over here in 2020. Altcoin season began when Bitcoin dominance broke its prior high, when Bitcoin itself, broke its prior all-time high from the previous cycle. That is exactly what we're doing right now. Bitcoin is definitively, finally, on the weekly chart, breaking its all-time high from the prior cycle, which it never did on the weekly chart, okay? Or it never did properly, at least. And that, historically speaking, cyclically speaking, has been a trigger for an altcoin season. So around here, could not be right here, maybe it's not right now, but around here is when altcoin season begins from a cyclical perspective, and by the way, when Bitcoin starts to go very, very parabolic. And we're seeing that reflected here potentially on the Bitcoin dominance chart. The first ever weekly bearish engulfing candle on Bitcoin dominance for a long period of time, since back here in May, okay, when people thought that the 4-year cycle was broken. It's been a long time. It's been 6 months. We've seen a bearish engulfing candle, or at least we are seeing one form on the Bitcoin dominance chart. We're seeing for the first time in a long time, if you look at the side of my screen here, Ethereum up 2.5% for the day, Bitcoin flatlining for the day. This has been a recurring trend over the last few days. Ethereum is skyrocketing, okay? If we look at the Ethereum chart on the daily chart, let me go ahead and find it. There it is, skyrocketing. If we measure from the bottom here, we measure from, let's say, the 4th of November. Ethereum is up around 28% from the 4th of November, while Bitcoin from the 4th of November is up only about 14%. This is a double outperformance, right? Ethereum doubling the returns of Bitcoin in the same period of time. This is a great sign that potentially Bitcoin dominance is beginning. And of course, an altcoin season is basically what people mean when they say the market is going parabolic. Perhaps the parabolia is beginning. So that's my update about the market right now. Medium term looks good, long term looks good, short term looks pretty bad, and altcoin season could very well be beginning here. There is a threat on the Bitcoin daily chart RSI. I'll be watching very closely. It's nothing to be too concerned about right now, but it is certainly there. So guys, thank you for watching. Again, please go down to the comment section, leave an emoji, say hello, say thank you, say whatever you want. It just helps me out a lot with the algorithm, makes the community seem more active as well. I appreciate if you do that. It takes 15 seconds. And a couple more things here just to end it off. First and foremost, the Bitfinex and Blowfin exchanges. I mentioned them at the start. I'll mention them again here, okay? They are global, non-KYC, never been hacked before, very low in trading fees, hundreds of trading pairs, both of them, okay? Very good exchanges. With my referral link down below, you can get access to a 15% trading fee discount for life on Bitfinex, and Blowfin is your alternative option. So use my links down below. And the last thing I'll mention is the VIP group on Telegram. We've got a 78% win rate over the course of 2 whole years of trading on VIP. It's exceptionally good stuff. It's all transparent. I don't hide my track record. I'm very proud of it. You can check it out there. 4 trading plans a week. Group chat with 125 members. Check them out, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you tomorrow.